Hey guys, today I'm going to be taking you through my flawless, long-lasting, glowy base routine. So let's get started. I am going to start with an eye gel underneath my eyes just because that's becoming an area of concern for me. Being the ripe age of 28, I think I need to start paying this area some attention. So I'm going to be using the Dr. Dennis Gross Hyaluronic Marine Do It All Eye Gel. I'm just going to get a little bit of that in between my fingers and then apply really gently all underneath my eyes. To give that kind of flawless effect, I'm going to minimize my pores with the Benefit POREfessional. Now, the only real area of concern with me for pores is in this kind of area here. So I'm just going to apply it there. And you can see a huge difference immediately. Now to get started with that glow, and I'm going to be using the Hollywood Flawless Filter. I've actually received a ton of questions about this since I first started using it. I think there was a little bit of confusion about how you can actually use it. So I'm going to clarify that for you. I've been using this for about 3 weeks now and I absolutely love it. Most of the time I apply it to the high points of my face underneath the foundation. I've also used it on its own for a super luminous glow, but it also evens out my skin tone, and actually this shade is perfect for me because my face tends to look a lot whiter than my fake tanned neck and body. You can also use it as an illuminator on top of foundation, or you can just mix it with your foundation. It's super versatile. I actually love the applicator, and I'm just going to start applying it to the high points. And I'm not being too precise where this goes because I want my skin to look luminous all over, but it doesn't need to be too luminous in places that aren't the high points of the face. Now for foundation, and I'm actually going to be using the Clinique Even Better Glow Foundation. I fell in love with this towards the end of last year, and I still use it on an almost daily basis. This is another product that I've had a ton of questions about since I first started using it, so that's why I really wanted to use it in today's tutorial. I do alternate between a couple of different foundations on a daily basis, and this totally depends basically on how long I want my makeup to last and the level of coverage that I want. Because I basically always want glowy looking skin, so that never really changes. So the Even Better Glow for me is the foundation that I go to when I want my makeup to really last. I've really put this foundation to the test. Not only have I been wearing it nearly every day for the last, I don't know, 6 months maybe, I have also worn it for 17 hours straight through all sorts of weather conditions, and my skin still looked really flawless. This is what I would consider medium coverage, so you can actually sheer it out with an oil, or you can even layer it up to make it fuller coverage. I also love it because it starts with a kind of natural glow to it, but you can also really amp up the glow and make your skin look completely luminous, which is what I'm going to be doing with it today. This may not be your favorite way to do it, but I actually love just dripping this onto my face and then blending it out with a damp beauty blender. And I'm using the shade WN38 Stone, which is my go-to shade when I have fake tan on. Today I'm going to be using a brand new concealer from Clinique. It's called the Beyond Perfecting Super Concealer. I've actually been using this for about 10 days at this point, and I absolutely love it. So this is actually promoted as a 24-hour wear concealer. I'm going to be honest, I've not tried to wear it for 24 hours at this point in time. However, I have worn it all day and it's lasted perfectly all day. So far so good. A few of the things that I've loved about this concealer so far is that the formula works both underneath the eyes and for covering blemishes. A lot of concealers really will work best in one area rather than another, but this one I've found works really well on both. It's waterproof, sweat and humidity resistant, which I can confirm because it's been pretty damn hot in Sydney and it's still been lasting really well on my skin. My absolute favorite thing about it so far though is actually that it's super hydrating, and it's hydrating immediately. So it's not going to settle into any fine lines, and it's definitely not going to make your under eyes look dehydrated, which is super important. This concealer comes in 12 different shades to suit most skin tones, and I like to use 2 at a time. I like to use a slightly lighter shade underneath my eyes just to brighten them up a bit. So for that I like to use the shade number 5. And then for covering blemishes or any kind of red spots, it's really important that you use a concealer that's the same shade as your skin tone. Using a shade too light is just going to enhance it. That's not what you want. We want camouflage here. I'm going to start by tapping shade number 5 just underneath my eyes and then blending it. I like to do a bit of a triangle shape just to give my face that kind of lifted look. And then using a damp mini beauty blender to blend it out. See how seamless that is? And then on my little blemish and my kind of chin area, I'm going to use shade number 12. And again, blend that out. And that's actually how I leave my foundation and concealer. I don't powder to set it in place. For me, there's no need to, but I also like to keep that really creamy, dewy look. If you're like me and like to avoid using too many powders, but want to minimize that oily look a little bit, maybe even in certain places where you're feeling a little too shiny, Urban Decay actually have this really great product. I believe it's new. It's called One and Done Blur on the Run Touch Up and Finishing Balm. So if you're feeling a little oily, all you do is rub your finger into it and then apply it to areas where you're feeling a little shiny. This is a great replacement for powder, and it just keeps your skin looking natural and glowy in all the right places. Now for bronzing, and I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Beach Stick in the shade Ibiza. Is that how you say it? Just going to apply that to my cheeks, corner of my forehead, and a little under that jawline. And again, blend that with the Beauty Blender. To highlight, I'm going to use the new Hourglass Vanish highlighting sticks, and the shade I'm going to use is Champagne Flash. I actually just like to use my finger to apply these, and I just apply it to the high points of my face. All the usual highlighting spots. Tops of the cheekbones, Cupid's bow, tip of the nose, a little on that outer forehead, and the inner corners of the eyes. That is my flawless, glowy skin routine done, but I'm going to finish off the rest of my makeup and then show you the finished product. And this is my makeup finished. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.